Now, a few weeks ago, I did a Pokemon Brilliant Diamond challenge in which I could only use legendary and mythical Pokemon, with level caps and no items in battle. For those who haven't seen the original video, it'll be linked in the description, but spoiler alert, we won. Since Shaymin was released in the recent Pokemon Presents for Pokemon Day, I decided it could be fun to continue the challenge by facing down the Elite Four Rematch teams, which modify which Pokemon they have, their lead Pokemon, and they're all significantly higher levels. And thus, to be consistent, I'll be raising my level cap to once again be equal to Cynthia's Garchomp. So level 78 in this case. We start out the rematch by getting the National Dex, which is required to unlock the Elite Four and Champions' new teams. And it's also a requirement to get to the Stone Tablet and catch our newest team member, Shaymin. As they're only level 30, I don't want to risk killing it, so I essentially just keep throwing Pokeballs until it decides to stay. From here we grab the Gracidia flowers, which are used to change Shaymin between land and sky form. And finally, it's time to train the gang up to the new level cap. With 6 of our legendary and mythical Pokemon on the brink of leveling above 78, we enter the Elite Four and start our battle with Aaron. Unlike the first time around, our new Shaymin really has a chance to shine. Aaron starts by protecting with his Yanmega to get off a speed boost, while we set up our attack stats with a growth. From here we exchange air slashes, with me being brought down to the yellow, which is more damage than I was expecting honestly, while he's KO'd. Vespiquen is out next, and after her it's Heracross. Both go down to a single air slash. From here, Scizor is next, so we don't have a super effective attack and thus can't one-shot. However, this gives us the perfect opportunity to take advantage of Shaymin Skyform's ability, Serene Grace. This ability doubles the chances of secondary effects, with Air Slash already having a 30% chance to flinch, and thus Serene Grace doubling it to 60%, as long as we outspeed, we'll flinch the opponent more often than not. And that's exactly what happens against Scizor. Thanks to us both bringing him into the red and flinching him, we get Aaron stuck in a healing loop, where he just uses potions again and again, while we repeatedly hit him back into the red until he's run out of potions, allowing us to then get the KO. Finally, his Ace Drapion is sent out, and once again we get the flinch, allowing Shaymin to finish him off and single-handedly giving us the win. Bertha is next, so I decide to try and sweep with Shaymin once again. The leading Whiscash holds a Rindo Berry, meaning our Energy Ball is essentially only 2 times super effective instead of 4. However, we still hit hard enough for the one-shot. Hippowdon comes out, setting up a Sandstorm, before also being one-shot by an Energy Ball. The sand does allow Bertha to start chipping away at our Shaymin's health, especially as we're unable to one-shot her Golem thanks to its sturdy ability, and she keeps healing up. Finally, she runs out of potions, and thus goes to attack, getting a Stone Edge crit, which takes Emerald down. We send in Sapphire, who Golem gets another crit against, this time with Earthquake, though it only brings me to a little under half before I can Surf KO it. Next is Gliscor, which a 4 times super effective crit Ice Beam murders. It's not KO'd, it's dead. Finally, her ace, Rhyperior. We use its girth against it with a Grass Knot for the one-shot. It's Flint time! And this battle, I decide to leave our new Shaymin on the sidelines for obvious reasons. We lead Sapphire to set up a single Tail Glow, taking a Dark Pulse for a little under half in return. Then we Surf to one-shot the Houndoom. Infernape is next, and unfortunately its Focus Sash means we can't KO it. Furthermore, we're left paralyzed and in the yellow. Predicting a heal, I switch in Diamond, and now that there's no more Focus Sash, we get the one-shot with the Psychic. Flint sends out Flareon, so I decide to get a Wish off. The next turn, I switch in Sapphire to get the heal and take a Fire attack. Unfortunately, the attack would have KO'd her, but it doesn't due to Friendship. And Friendship also heals her status on the same turn. I feel it would be a bit of a cheap way to win, so I decide to essentially act like Manaphy was KO'd, as they should have been, and switch to Ruby. Ruby gets off a Psychic and a Special Defense drop to boot, before going down to a Flare Blitz. I assume Turquoise can live one, so I set up a nasty plot, while he doesn't even attack, instead burning me. As our special attack isn't affected, we Psychic for the KO next turn. Rapidash is sent out, and even though we have double special attack, I kind of wasn't expecting Psychic to one-shot, but it does. We're left with his Ace Mag Mortar, and surprisingly, another Psychic gets the KO, winning us the battle. We're down to the last Elite Four member, the Lucid Dreamer Lucian, or at least I think that's where his name comes from. We lead Mew vs Mr. Mime. After setting up a sub, while he sets up a Reflect, I hit with X-Scissor, which does a little over half thanks to a crit. Another X-Scissor and he'll just heal, but I think without Reflect I can get the KO. So between sub and leftovers, I begin to stall the screens out, while setting up some speed raises for good measure. Finally, it fades. We X-Scissor and Mr. Mime goes down. Lucian sends out Espeon, and thanks to our sub, we're able to X-Scissor 3-shot him, well, after some healing and a crit, without taking any damage, though our sub does fade. Bronzor is next, and the X-Scissor barely scratches him, so I decide to go for Mew's newly learned Transform, and it actually means we get to live another turn. We go for the super effective payback, but lose the speed tie, so Mew does unfortunately go down here. Turquoise comes in to set up a nasty plot, as Gyro Ball takes him down to the yellow. We go Flamethrower next turn, nabbing the KO. Unfortunately, Lucian sends out Alakazam, who can outspeed and KO us with a dazzling gleam. I decide to send out Diamond, as Steel resists Fairy, as well as Alakazam not exactly being known for its physical defense. Meteor Mash brings him down into the red, then another hits the range and gets the KO after Lucian's attempt at healing. It also raises our physical attack, so I decide to go for another Meteor Mash against the sent out Gallade, only to miss. He close combats, dropping his defenses. I decide to Psychic for some guaranteed damage, bringing him briefly to the yellow before his berry heals him back, and he close combat KOs. Or it should have, but we get a friendship dodge. Again, I feel this would be a cheap way to win, so act as if Jirachi was KO'd, switching to Emerald to air/KO the Gallade for the win. Finally, we have Champion Cynthia. I start by using a strat similar to the first time around, light screening with Ruby, but this time I switch straight to Sapphire to begin setting up tail glows. Unfortunately, we're burnt, but it's not like we're using our physical attack anyway, so it's just the chip damage that's a bit annoying. When our special attack is at +6, I surf to one-shot the Spiritomb. Roserade comes out, only to be Ice Beam KO'd. Lucario can't take a surf, Togetic's weak to ice, so he goes down, and at this point, we get a friendship cure of the burn, but I feel it won't matter because after Melodic is tripped up and one-shot by a Grass Knot, I know Garchomp will be able to KO me without the extra burn damage. Except, she can't? I'm left in the low red and it 100% mattered. Bit of a cheap way to win, but it is what it is. I think I mentioned this in the first video, but though I do like friendship, I wish it was optional so I could turn it off or something for these challenge runs. But anyway, if you've made it this far, hit that subscribe button or whatever. And hey, now I've reached this point in the game, we have access to Reminisce Park, and thus so many more legendaries. There is another even harder rematch we could do, so if you're interested, let me know, and even suggest a team if you'd like, whether to make it more challenging or the strongest team you can think of. Thanks for watching and see you next video.